morning. I got 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm just getting settled in myself, getting my coffee here. So let you guys get situated. I know for some of you this is maybe the first time you've been on the webinar. So trust me, we're not going to be able to see you. I've been getting text messages from people being like, "Are people going to be able to see me?" No, you're not. We're not going to be able to see you, but you're going to be able to see me. Okay. So as always, what I always recommend: get situated. Get yourself a cup of coffee. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in sunny San Diego. Get yourself situated, grab a notebook, go to a private spot in your house, okay? Don't try to have a lot of distractions on behind you, no TVs, right? Get private because this is training, and I want you guys to really take this seriously. Let me mute myself. Sorry about that, I got the other one to open. So go ahead and get situated. Let me get myself situated, and we'll be starting here in about 1 to 2 minutes, okay? I'll see you guys here in a minute. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, good morning. I got 9:02, and as always, we're going to try to go to 10:30. We might finish a little bit early. Um, Today's training is going to be a little bit in addition to what we didn't get to finish on Tuesday. For those of you that are in the San Diego office, for those of you that are in the LA or other office, this will be a treat for you. Okay, so for those of you maybe that don't know me, if you're brand new and you're in other cities and you don't know who I am, my name is Carlos Salgado. I am a regional marketing director here with Difference Financial, and I'm going to be running today's training. And as always, I like Saturday's trainings to be I like most of my trainings to be very much about inspiration and mindset, because I believe that is the #1 tool that you're going to learn as an entrepreneur, is to really learn the way to think in such a way that is going to help you get the results that you're after in life. And many of you came into this business, and if I were to ask you, obviously I can't see all your faces, but a question I have for you, and a question that you should always ask yourself and ask those of your teammates, is why did you go into business for yourself? I mean, why are you here? And you'll get a multitude of answers, whether it's, I want to build financial freedom, I want time freedom, I want to own my own business, I want to help people, I want to influence people, I want to leave my mark on this planet. I mean, people come into our business for all kinds of personal reasons. And so as a leader here, it's up to you to really develop those skills as a leader to be able to pull that out of people. And if you remember, when you went through the Fast Start, and if you're brand new and you haven't been through Fast Start yet, but when you're going through your little Fast Start, that's an hour-and-a-half appointment where we're setting goals for you, and we're talking about how we're getting out in the market, and we're prospecting, and we're doing appointments. One of the things we talk about in there, in our values, is something that we're passionate about as a company, is developing leaders. So I want you to write something down, because this is something that I know for a fact. If you build leaders, then teams will come. Let me repeat that. If you build leaders, teams will come. And for those of you that are building a team here, which I highly recommend that you do, because that's the best impact that you can not only make on someone's life, but over the long haul for you, it's a way that you build a very profitable business here that's going to provide you financial freedom. So when you're focusing on building a team, the psychology about building a team is that you got to go out there and build leaders. You want to build independent leaders that are independent of you, that are able to go out there and work in such a capacity with people in a positive way to influence them, inspire them, to teach them the trades of this business, how to do this business. And as a result of you going out there and building leaders, you're going to be extremely successful here. Isn't that remarkable? Now, when you really think about it, and those of you that are brand new to this industry, you got to understand the higher law of what we're doing here. You know, there's a very deep psychology with what we do. That's why I spend a lot of time. You'll hear me talk about psychology a lot because there's a mindset associated with business. This is not business as usual. You can't come in here with an employee mindset or being the same person you are trying to get more. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to really change the way you think. And it always and will always be for me about developing leaders, helping people unleash their true potential, helping them do something very, very unique with their life. And all of you, every single one of you, and especially those of you that I know personally, you all have dreams, you all have goals, you all just don't want to, not everybody just comes in here and the only thing that they care about is making money. And even though that we make great money here, if all somebody cares about is making money, they don't really last here. They don't make it too far. Because it's about people. And I've often said that people don't join companies, people join people. And people don't buy products, people buy people. And we are the people that are building other people. And we as leaders are the people that are going out there and helping families. So people are buying a relationship, right? People are buying your leadership. They're buying those things that you value because you're teaching them something. So why am I telling you all this? Because it is so important to develop yourself every day here, because the more that you develop yourself as an individual, as a person, as a leader, the more that you have to offer the people that are in your team and in your organization. And I spend a lot of time talking about leadership and personal development because I believe it's 99% of the game. And I know some of you want to learn, I want to learn the products. I want to learn how to sell out in the field. And here's my answer to that. If that's what you want to learn, then you need to get out in the field, right? Because I wish that I can train you how to be a field trainer in a classroom setting. Even if I spend an all-day 8-hour session with you and I teach you all the things that the field consists of, and don't get me wrong, we are going to go over some of those things. But I have to tell you that that's not the most important thing. And if I'm telling you from my own personal experience, right? The most important thing is your mindset, is having that mental toughness, because you can do 99% of the things right here. You can understand how our products work, and they do work. You can understand everything about our system, and it does work. But if you're missing that 1%, right? You can do 99 things right, but that one thing that you're lacking is your mindset. It's almost impossible to win. It really is. Which is why you got to work on yourself. Right? So today what we're going to talk about is developing the leader within you. Now, those of you that were in San Diego, I started this presentation right towards the end of training last Tuesday, but my iPad died. So I believe you're going to get a lot of value from this. I've given this training at the home office about a year and a half ago, and it's one of my favorite trainings because it's what we're all about here. You know, we like to say you don't have to be, you know, we say a regional marketing director is the premier position in our company. It is, because that's when that's just really the starting point of your business to become a regional marketing director. Right? But you don't, you know, if you want to be a regional marketing director, you don't wait till you get promoted to a regional marketing director to start acting like one. You have to start being a regional marketing director now. And a regional marketing director to me is a leader, is someone that is always positive, is fired up about life, really believes in their business, really believes in the mission of what we're doing here, and is the hardest worker in their organization. If you have a team, right, you should be the hardest working person in your team. Your team should be looking at you as the person that is always setting the example. You're always the one out in the field. You're always the one going out there helping families. You're always the one out there going recruiting and introducing new people to our business. That's what you need to be as a leader. Now, I like to recognize a couple people. I know for me personally, working down here in San Diego, right now the #1 guy in the organization, and I'll have to say right now, recruiting in the company has to be Mike Gonzalez. Now, I don't know what's going on in the other offices. There might be some other studs out there, but I got to tell you right now, there's a gentleman right now, Mike Gonzalez, and you guys are going to hear this guy's name a lot. This guy has done maybe 20 to 25 appointments in the last 3 weeks. He's brought on board 5 to 6 new associates direct. You know, he's out there just killing it. He just got licensed. His team is already starting to go out there and start building a team. So his team is exploding right now because he's running the system and he's focused on doing the right things. But more importantly than anything, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's not just sitting here waiting to learn everything. See, you have to go out there and do it. I'm spelling it out. Do it. That means you physically go out there, you pick up the phone, you start setting appointments, and you just get after it. And right now, this guy is really doing it. Now, right behind him is our senior associate, right, who's starting to build a team again. That's Colleen Ariano. You know, Colleen is someone who's been with me from the get-go, and I see right now, honestly, I see these two competing, and that's going to be fun for me because I know Colleen is very competitive, and I know Mike is very competitive. But these right now are the two leaders in our company down here in San Diego in our team that are really going out there and kicking ass and taking names. And I really want to recognize them publicly because I believe they're going to be the future leaders of our organization, of Difference Financial, and they're going to build amazing, amazing teams. They're going to be future regional marketing directors. I know the money is going to follow. They're going to be multiple six-figure earners here next 12 to 18 months and build great organizations. So what is it that they're doing, right? Because if you want to go out there, you want to be successful, then write this down. It's really simple, 2 things, guys. You know, and people want to break down our business way too much, but our business is very simple. It's 2 things that you need to be focused on daily. You're either on appointments or you're setting appointments. You're either on appointments or you're setting appointments. If you're a brand new associate right now and you've been through the Fast Start and you know how to do a Help Me Script appointment, remember that Help Me Script is if I sat with you personally and I taught you how to set a Help Me Script appointment, then you should be focused on doing 10 to 15 of those Help Me Script appointments off of your top 25 list in your first 30 days in this business. That's what you need to do. It's that simple. You know, you're not going to be doing the training because you're going to have a qualified field trainer that's going to do all the work for you. You just have to set up the training and go to that appointment and you just sit there and take notes and you watch the field trainer. It's very simple. And because we run a system here, it's repetitious, right? So you're going to see the appointment 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. And once you see the same thing over and over, just like a song you've heard so many times, you get to learn the words of our business. Our slides haven't changed at all, right? Everything is the same. We want to make this very simple to duplicate so that you can go out there in the next 45 days and you start going out and doing your own appointments and then you start training your own people. It's that simple, right? We have right now a lot of momentum in our company, you know, and right now for San Diego, we're having an explosion. Okay, we went from having 3, 4 people to meetings to now we're having 15. Until this Tuesday, I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody in the office. That's a good problem to have. But we're growing substantially right now, all because we're running the system. And you're going to learn that, right? So I'm going to go into presentation mode here, and I really want you to take copious notes. Now, Dago, who had set up this webinar, he was actually supposed to be kicking it off, but I think he was having some technical difficulties out there in the Bahamas. Poor Dago, right? Poor CEO of our company. You know, he can't get on Wi-Fi in the Bahamas to do training. But he's going to try to jump on. He said he's going to go to a different location, try to get on some good Wi-Fi, and be able to talk to us for a while. So if he's able to make it on, great. So if you hear him come on in the background while I'm training, we'll go ahead and pause there. You know, let our leadership talk, and I know he's got some exciting things to say. But if he doesn't get a chance to come on, I'm going to go ahead and lead you guys all the way through here for the next hour 15 minutes, okay? So you guys ready? Oh, before I start, as always, okay, if this is your new time to the webinar chat room, If you look on the right here of the Webinar Jam, which is our platform that we like to use because it's very user-friendly, you see where it says chat in there. Click on that chat link right there, and you'll be able to see. And what I want, those of you that are leaders, I want you to be putting, interacting with each other. If you want to share something, always make it positive. Make sure it's something of value, something that you're getting from the training. Okay, remember, there's new people on here. They're new to the team. Let's make them feel at home, right? Let's make sure that we're always providing value. That's something we're always focused on, is provide value, not just to clients, but to our fellow associates. This is a positive environment where we're focused on your growth, and today is no exception. So I'm excited to share this training. I'm going to go ahead and flip the script here, and I'm going to go into presentation mode. So give me a second here. Bam. All right, you guys should be seeing my desktop now. Okay. Okay. So I love talking about this stuff. It's my favorite topic because this is the most important stuff. This is the nitty-gritty. And those of you that are becoming leaders and you're learning the mindset of our business, you realize, and you would agree with me that learning leadership skills and the ability to lead and influence people is by far the most important skill that you will not only learn in this business, but in my personal opinion, what you will learn throughout your life. Your ability to make a positive impact in people's life and to have a positive influence, and where people will say, you know what, I'm going to follow you, is a very big deal. And that skill is something that is extremely lacking in society, okay? And all of you, I am sure you can agree with me, you've worked in jobs where you have bosses or you have people that are appointed over you, and you know that they should probably not be doing what they're doing because they do not have the people skills or the leadership skills to get the job done. And that causes a lot of friction. So in business, that's why it's so important to develop your leadership skills, because we work in the team building business. We work in the people business. And if you have a lack of leadership, your ability to not lead a group of people will come through and you will struggle, which is why I focus so much on learning leadership and teaching it, because I know that the more that you learn, the better leader that you're going to become, and the more successful that you will become, and the more successful you will help others become. Does that make sense? So this is why I spend an exorbitant amount of time on leadership, because it is everything, right? You show me any successful business, any successful football team, baseball team, sports team, right? A successful church, corporation, club, whatever. Show me anything, show me some sort of group that's successful, and I'll show you something being run by a leader. It's the absolute truth. And you guys know that. Okay? So that's why we're going to spend time, and I'm beating it with the dead horse, because I really want to preface this training that you take this serious. This is not just a motivational thing that I just want to come here and try to just fire you up. I'm going to fire you up, but I really want you to I really want you to pay attention to what I'm going to share with you, and try to learn this stuff so that you can also duplicate it and apply it in your own life and in your business so that you can get great results. Sound good? All right, let's get the ball rolling here. So before we get started, obviously, some announcements. I'm going to keep harping on it. Fast Start School is coming up in 2 Saturdays from today. So that Saturday morning, obviously, we will not be having a webinar training because we will be doing Fast Start School down at our office here in San Diego. Now, depending if we have some people from the LA office or other offices come down, that location may be moved simply because I have no place to put that many people. But as of right now, the location will be our office in San Diego, our local team office. And it's going to start at 9 o'clock sharp, so don't be late. And it's going to go to 1 p.m. This is 4 hours, man. We're going to break down the system. It's no joke. But not everybody just gets to get in just because they want to go. Okay, and we make it very simple to qualify. So if you have not qualified yet, you better get qualified. Get this stuff done. It's not hard. You got to get a top 25 list done. That's you got in Fast Start. Get that list done. Fill it out. Be diligent about it. Take it seriously. This is your business. And then you get to get a copy and submit that to your RMD. Now, when I get those top 25 lists, I don't make those phone calls without you. We just do that as a qualification. Okay? It's very important. The next thing is 3 units of activity. you have to do 3 training appointments. It doesn't take a long time, right? We just brought on board somebody the day before yesterday under Mike Gonzalez. Her name is Latrice Williams. I'm excited about this young woman, and she's already been out in the field, right? She came on board less than 48 hours. She's already done a field training appointment last night. You know, we brought on board somebody a couple days back under Mike Gonzalez by the name of Austin. He's already got 2 field training appointments set that we're doing today. So it's not hard to get it done. Okay, you just got to get it done. It's just a help me script. So do those 3 units of activity. And number 3 is you got to practice what you preach. I can't take you out in the field trying to go out there and save people's financial life. If you're not doing that yourself, you have no moral authority or credibility to be going out there and encouraging people to be saving money if you're not doing it yourself. It's super important, guys. We walk the high road here. Okay, we do what's right. Leadership is why it's important, and as a leader, don't be taking out anybody in your team if they're not practicing what they're preaching. You guys feel me on that? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so get with your leadership, get with your upline, get with the person that introduced you to the company, and say, you know what, I got to get this done. You know, I got to start putting money away. And how much money should you put away? Whatever you can. Okay, whatever you can. Everybody's going to be different, but start practicing what you're preaching. Get it done. All right, so that you can get into Fast Start School and really learn the business. We're going to go 4 hours, nuts and bolts, the whole breakdown of the system. It's a lot of intense work, but we really want you to understand the system. The system that runs this business is very, very amazing, right? But we can't teach it in one webinar. That's why we make it in 4 hours, because we want to make sure we're talking to the right people, and it's going to be a jam-packed agenda. And for those of you that are already qualified, get ready, baby. Get ready, because it's going to be really, really good. It's going to be a really great experience for you, and I'm excited. Okay? So there we go. All right, let's get the ball rolling here. So to be a great leader, you must understand 2 things. It's super important. You must understand human nature. Now, when I first came into the business, I remember hearing that, and I was like, what does that mean, understand human nature? Honestly, it took me about 5 years to really understand human nature, just from experiencing so many types of people. And if you're brand new, this might sound counterintuitive to you, but pay attention. When you're new in the business, you shouldn't even be focused on getting results, in my opinion. And people are like, what? I mean, I joined in this business because I want to get results. I want to build a business. Yes, you are. But your priority should be to get experience. Your priority should get experience. You got to get in front of tons of people. You got to do so many appointments to really understand the different personalities that you're going to be dealing with as far as people. And you know, and every one of us know, that people are funny, right? People are interesting. And this business is no exception. We're dealing with our community. We're dealing with society. We're going to be dealing with all kinds of people from all walks of life. I've met positive people. I've met negative people, and everything in between. Okay? And to be in front of those people, you have to get that experience. And so that's why understanding human nature is on a higher level. Most people will take the path of least resistance. That's just the way human nature is. So you have to understand the triggers. You have to understand the psychology that most people kind of come and look at something like what we do is. Not everybody's going to do it. That's okay. But you have to understand, what are the triggers? What's preventing somebody from not taking action in their life? When you meet with someone that's struggling financially and they're not happy and they feel miserable, you have to understand what's triggering that. Okay? And that's why understanding human nature is a big, big part of becoming a leader here. Number 2 is you got to understand a winning psychology. The way that you think is everything. And for those of you that were at the office Tuesday, you remember sharing the example, is the reason most people are kind of stuck. If you're going through a tough time in life, the reason people feel that they continue to go through a tough time is because they're focused on their circumstance. And write this down. Your present situation is not your final destination. Let me repeat that. Your present situation is not your final destination. And what that means is that whatever you're going through right now, no matter how tough it will be, because life gives us tough times. We all go through tough times. We're all going to be challenged to the max. We've all experienced failure. We've all experienced those situations in life like, why is this happening to me? But let me ask you something that was shared to me by an awesome leader by the name of Tony Robbins. What if everything in your life that was happening to you was happening for you? Let me repeat that. What if everything in your life that you perceive is not going right? Instead you say, man, why is this happening to me? Instead ask yourself, what if it was happening for you? And what I mean by that is every adversity or struggle that you're dealing with, if you really study it, there's something positive to be gained from the experience. Now, you might not know that today, but everything that you're going through is preparing you for something more. You're never going to know how good something is unless you know the contrast, how bad something is. I never knew what I really wanted until I knew what I really didn't want. Are you picking up what I'm dropping here? So when you're focused on what's not working, and many of you have been stuck there, I've been stuck there. When you're focused in on what's not working, you're like, and that's all your mind is how broke I am, how much I don't have this, right? This is not working, my relationships are struggling, you feel depressed, and your mind is stuck in this rut, in this mental sewer. And it stays stuck there, and so your thoughts are all about what's not working. So here's my point to all this. If you just focus on what's not working, guess what you experience more of? More of what's not working. But if you start becoming, if I were to ask you a question, and sometimes people struggle with this, but because 90% of what most people think is negative. But here's the question that can really change that. What are you grateful for right now at this point in your life? Regardless of what's not working, what is working for you? What are you grateful for? Get people to start thinking about what is working in their life. Oh, you know what? I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my spouse. Man, I'm grateful that my heart is beating right now, at least, right? And I'm grateful for my health. Whatever. Find something that is working and focus on that. And whenever you feel down, you might want to pull out a paper and just put 5 things that I'm grateful for today, and just write those down. And a grateful person that's dead broke but has $100 in their wallet and that's all they have to their name, a grateful person will say, you know what, I'm broke, but I have but hey, I have $100 in my wallet. You focus on what you do have, not on what you don't have. So when you start focusing on what you do have and you start focusing on what is working, and even though it's not too much, that will continue to expand. So when you focus on what is working, you only get to experience more of what is working. It's funny how our mind works. Our mind, for the most time, is using you more than you use it. You have to learn to use your mind as your ally. Most of it, you use it as your nemesis, or it's your enemy. You're your own worst enemy. And I would have to say that if most of us, right, if most of you had a friend that talked to you the way that you talk to yourself, the way that your mind talks to you, would you have that friend around? That wouldn't be a very good friend for most people. Right? So that means is that most people are their own worst enemy. The self-talk that people have, they beat themselves down without even knowing it. Most people don't. Most people have a very poor self-image. You know, so why am I spending a lot of time on this? Because this is why most people don't win. Not just in our business, but in life. Most people do not win because they have a really poor psychology. The way they think is always negative. You know, they're complainers, they're negative, they blame everyone for why they're at where they're at, and they wonder why they're stuck. So you have to really understand be a winning psychology. You got to start getting excited again. You got to start focusing on being positive. And if you hang around with a bunch of negative people, you got to change that association. You got to get rid of people like that in your life. Those people like that are toxic. You got to start hanging around with people that believe in you again, that believe you can do it, that really see the greatness in you, that can pull that out of you. Change your associations. And maybe you're on this webinar and you're like, well, where I'm at, I don't really have anybody that I can go to. Well, you got books, you got YouTube videos, right? There's all kinds of things that you can read to change your associations. Associate yourself with great content, great books. All that stuff's important, guys. Okay, so very important. In your words, what is leadership? You know, and I've asked some of you this again. This is some of the training I did last Tuesday. But what does leadership mean to you? And we all have our own definitions of what leadership is, of what it means. Okay, but what does it mean, right? In your words, what does leadership mean? And if you remove for a moment the moral issue behind it, there is only one definition. It's the ability to get followers. And so in our business, it's the ability to build a team. Here's another thing that I want you guys to write down. Okay, pay attention to me here. Most people, an amateur, they recruit people to difference. Meaning they sit with somebody and they say, hey, you know what? My company is awesome. My company does this. My company can do this for you. My company's name is Difference, and if you join my company, it's going to be able to give you all your dreams and goals. An amateur recruits people to difference. Now, a pro recruits people to themselves. That's a leader. That's what a leader does. I always recruit people to me. I don't recruit people to Difference. I recruit people to me. That's what they're buying. And when people are on the fence, you have to, if you get a chance to get out on the field, I'll say, look, man, you are it. With your drive and my coaching, we're going to do nothing but win. I want you to join me. I'm going to train you. I'm going to work with you personally. You're going to get my coaching. We're going to go out there and make it happen. You see that? What I'm saying is that I recruit people to me. That's important, okay? So that's what a leadership does. So I want you to recruit people to you. That's why you have to develop yourself as a leader so people understand that they're going to get value from you. If you just recruit people to your company, you just bypass yourself. And that's not what it's about. Don't get me wrong, Difference is great, but don't recruit people to Difference. Recruit people to you. Remember, people don't join companies, people join people. Now, this is a very powerful example that I got from John Maxwell, and I've always utilized it. It's from his book, Developing the Leader Within You, an amazing book that I highly recommend, Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. And one of the examples, he's got a lot of leadership laws and principles and powerful principles. And one of those principles or laws that he talks about here is called the law of the lid. And he says, the law of the lid in leadership is the ability to only rise as high as those around you, meaning when you associate with mediocrity, you are mediocre. When you associate with the elite, you become elite. So the power of association is huge. And my point to that is that from an income standpoint, how many of you on this webinar want to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $50,000 a month? And I hope it's all of you, because that's why you're going into business, to build financial freedom for you and your family, for your goals, your dreams. So if you want to start making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, then it's probably important that you start hanging around and associating with other people that are making $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month, right? Or you start hanging around with other people that are also have the same goals as you, that want to get there of making that kind of income. But if you're hanging around with people that are always broke and complain about life, and you're over here trying to make $10,000, $20,000 a month, they're just going to pull you down. You don't want to hang around mediocrity, right? Because that pulls you down. You want to hang around people that have an elite mentality, because if you hang around people that have an elite mentality, you, by association, will also become elite. That's the power of association. Now, with the law of the lid, people's lives. Let me backpedal here. With the power of association, people's lives are a direct reflection of the expectation of their peer group. That's why I say you should join a peer group that plays the game of life at a much deeper level than you do. I wanted to be around people that thought differently than I did, because where I was at when I started in this industry was not a good place. I was broke. I didn't have a lot of personal confidence. I didn't believe I could do it. So I needed to be around people that were playing the game of life. They were after it. They were after the goals. They were hungry. They wanted to be somebody. They believed that they had greatness within them. And when I saw them on the surface, they seemed like just everyday, ordinary people. But their spirit, man, they had something alive about them. They just said, you know what? Average and ordinary ain't for me. I want to do something big with my life. I want to change people's lives. I want to change the world. You know, those kind of talks was very consistent in me growing up in this business. And those associations really had a lot of leverage on me and my growth, and they had a lot of influence over me. And I'm here to tell you that has not changed. That's exactly how I run our organization. That's how I run my team. Is you got to join a team that's going to play the game of life at a deeper level. And as a result of that, our team, we're going to challenge you. We're not just here so that you could be the same person. You can't come in here and be the same person and trying to get more. It's absolutely impossible. The person that you are right now is why you are where you are right now. If you look at all your results right now, whatever you're experiencing, whatever's in your bank account right now, whatever's working in your life right now, whatever's not working in your life right now, is all a reflection of the person, your personal identity of the person you are right now. So my point to that is, you're coming here because you want more, you want to grow, you want to expand. So you have to change. You have to change, right? And we have to challenge you in order to get that change. Now, we accept you and we love you, but we got to challenge you. And that last sentence there is, proximity is power. Being in the proximity of people that are going for something in their life is so powerful, guys. And I want, for some of you that have been around this game for a while, this is like a repeated talk. You're like, yep, this is what we do. This is normal, right? These kind of talks, these kind of trainings, this is normal. I want you to put in the chat box, right? This is you know, what you've gotten value. Hey, this is what we always talk about. Let the new people know what your mindset is. Let the people know what this is all about. Is this not true for those of you senior leaders, or for those of you that have been around for a while? Aren't we always talking about that? Aren't we always challenging you? Are we always pushing you to grow? Isn't that what this is all about? It's powerful. It's no joke. So the law of the lid continued. Now, if you're by yourself, maybe you have a notebook out, which you should. Let me ask you a question. If you were to personally right now judge your own leadership style, your leadership ability, so to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you range? Now, be honest with yourself, okay? Be honest with yourself, but at the same time, don't totally downplay yourself. Be honest. Where's your level of influence? Your ability to influence people positively, where do you think that ranges on a 1 to 10? Now, let's just say if you're a 5 or 6, right? Say, well, I'm a 5 or a 6. If you're a 5 or 6, you couldn't lead a 7. If you are the top dog in your team, then you can only influence another person in your team to the level that you are currently at. So if I'm a 6 and I have a team of 2s and 3s, right, then if I don't continue to grow, the very best that I'm going to be able to get those 2 to 3s to is to a level 6. But the potential is 10. And that's what happens in our business. You know, people that are 6s, they usually go recruit 5s. And people that are 5s, they go recruit 4s and 3s. So you have to raise your identity, but you know, your 4s and 3s, they don't really have a lot of personal leadership skills. That's at the bottom of the totem pole. So you have to grow. That's why you have to raise that lid. Because if you come across somebody that has a high identity, say you're a 6 and you come across someone that's an 8, and you try to prospect them, or you sit down with them for a one-on-one appointment, even though what they see is valuable here, they don't join you. Why? Because they believe that you have nothing to offer them. And so they say, you know what, good, it sounds great, but deep down they're like, there's nothing really you can offer me. You know, I'm already here in my life. I'm trying to grow myself, so you can, you know, how can a 6 lead an 8? It's impossible. It's impossible. So you got to get yourself to where you're a 9, so that you can go sit down with an 8, and that 8, who's a high identity person, is going to look at you and say, man, I've been looking for you. Does that make sense? That's the power of the law of the lid. That's a powerful principle, is it not? Really, really important. So now we're going to get into thinking. This is how leaders think. A leadership mentality is they believe, I wouldn't even say believe, they know. This is a knowing. They have absolute conviction of this. I create my life. I create my life. A leader takes 100% accountability and responsibility for every single thing in their life. If something happens that they want to happen, is that leader knows it's because they created it, they made it happen. If something happens or it failed to happen, that leader never blames anything or anyone for why it failed. A leader always takes personal accountability and responsibility and say, you know what, that's not what I wanted, and it failed. And it failed because of something that I did. So in order for that thing to change, then I must change. So I take responsibility for that failure, I learn from it, and that's not going to happen again. Now I change my actions and I grow from it and I learn from my mistake and I go and make the corrections and get the results that I'm after. Does that make sense? That's how a leader thinks. I don't depend on anyone to build my business, guys, you know, and I'm direct to Dago Zuniga, who's the CEO of our company. I don't tell Dago, hey man, you need to come and motivate me. Hey man, you need to come, can you call me every day and motivate me and inspire me? Right? Can you help me do this for me? Right now, don't get me wrong, when I was brand new, yes, I needed training, I needed mentorship. This was all new to me. But you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to spread your wings and fly here. You got to go out there. There's got to come a point in time where, like, you know what, I can't expect Carlo to come with me on the field and help me do my appointments every single time. I have to go out there and suck it. I'm going to suck at this, but I'm going to get better. That's what a leader does. You are the designer of your life. You are creating your life as you speak. I hope you really understand that. That's a very powerful principle. We teach principles here, and this principle is probably one of the most important principles you will not just learn in this business, but you should learn throughout your life. Everything that happens or doesn't happen in your life is a result of you. It's a result of us. Now, the opposite, this is everybody else, and this is why there's a big problem in society. How everyone else thinks, life just happens to me. There's such a victim, right? And victimization is the worst mental disease that I believe that you can live in. It is the worst place. Being a victim is just a terrible, terrible mental disease that can just kill you. You know, Martin Luther King said that the average man and woman in America dies around the age of 25. We just don't get around to burying them until they're about 65 or 70. Let me repeat that. That's worth repeating. Martin Luther King once said that the average man or woman in America dies around the age of 25. They just don't get around to burying them until they're about 65 or 70. What does that mean? How would you interpret that? And what I mean is that people stop dreaming about the age of 25. You remember in high school, people had all these goals, all these dreams. They want to be professional athletes. They want to be singers. They want to be business owners. They want to, you know, they want to be a race car driver. I mean, we all have all these dreams. But then life happens. And at age 25, people's dreams start dying. And they stop dreaming again because they realize, well, I guess this is my reality. And they start becoming a victim, and they're victimized. And here's the thing about being a victim, okay? Even if it's someone else's fault, if that is the truth of why you are where you are in life, it still disempowers you. Why? Because you can't change until something outside of you changes. If you have to wait for someone or something outside of you to change in order for you to change, then you could wait forever for that. And the chances of that change happening are slim to none. In order for things to change, my friends, you must change. In order for you to be where you want to be in life, you can't wait for anything or anyone outside of you to change. You got to change right now. And how fast can you change? You're a thought away from changing. This is some deep stuff I'm covering here. I hope a green light is going on. I hope the light bulb is going off in your mind right now, like, wow, this is some really heavy stuff, because it's true. I want to free you. My job, my whole passion is to help people free their mind from mediocrity. We didn't just come here to exist and go through the motions. We came here for a purpose. I believe you were born for a unique purpose. I think you came to do something big with your life. You came here to do something, to change people's lives, to make people's lives better. But that starts with your life. And to be a great leader of other people, you first have to be someone that leads yourself. And you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, you're a freaking stud. When's the last time you looked at the mirror and you said, you know what, and excuse my language here, I'm about to do a little cursing, but I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you are the shit. You are freaking the man. You are the woman. You are the bomb.com. You got to love yourself like that. Now, I'm not saying you need to go tell everyone that you love yourself. That's arrogance. But if you tell yourself that you love yourself, that's called self-confidence. That's called self-worth. And if you don't love yourself, how can you expect others to love you? If you don't think you're a great leader, how can you expect others to think you're a great leader? Are you picking up what I'm dropping here? This is important, right? I don't want you guys to be a victim here, right? This is the mindset. This is the mediocrity. This is what's plaguing society right now. There's too many victims out there that play the blame game. They blame everyone and everything why they are where they're at in their life. And if you keep on doing that, then guess what? You're just going to stay stuck. There's no future in that. Moving on. So understanding human nature is you have to understand that rapport here, guys. We are in the rapport business. Building rapport with people is a science. It's a science. Rapport is power. And what is rapport? You know, when you go on the field, I don't go straight into presentation mode. That's not what I do. I build relationships. I can tell you right now from personal experience, I know before I even start the presentation if I'm going to recruit or help this person as either a new business partner or a family being helped as a client. I know before I even start the presentation. Why? Because of the way that we build rapport. And rapport is power, and you got to get really good at building rapport with people. And the power of rapport is I don't have 6 months to go out there and build trust with people. I have 30 minutes at times. So I have to use skills. I have to use the power of rapport as a skill set in order to peel that onion of people's defenses one at a time in order to show them that I am the real deal, that I am for real, that you can trust me. That's a very powerful skill to learn. So how is it created? It's created by a feeling of commonality. People like to do business with people that are like them. Like attracts like. Don't you hang around with other people that are like you? Isn't that what we do in our business? We hang around people that are hungry and that want to be someone in life, and by being in that environment with other people that are hungry and want to be someone in life, you feel that you're connected. That's rapport. That's what Tuesday night is. When you come to our Tuesday night, it's like social proof. You're like, wow, this is the real deal. I was skeptical and now I'm a believer. That's all through the power of rapport. Now, you see the thing there, it says NLP, and NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Now, we're not going to go into that training, but I'm here to tell you that it's true. Matching and mirroring, it works. People like people who are like themselves or people who they would like to be. All right, so what that means is that me by nature, for those of you that know me very personally and we get to hang out and we build a close relationship, typically I don't talk the way I'm talking right now. I'm not this loud and like fired up, and my nature I'm pretty reserved kind of person. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually kind of, sometimes I can be shy. I have to make a conscious decision to get out of my comfort zone to go out there and shake people's hands, right? Because I know it's not something that's natural to me. For some of you, it may be natural. It's not natural to me. So for those of you that struggle with that, I can relate to that because that's how I used to be. I wasn't this kind of person that just, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, what are you doing today? Shaking hands and just meeting people. Way out of my comfort zone. That's way out of my my nature. So you have to meet people where they're at. If you come across someone and you're kind of a reserved person, and say you do an appointment in someone's house, and when they meet you, they're fired up. They're like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Right? Okay, show me this opportunity. Give me the goods. And they have this kind of energy about them. If you don't match their frequency, if you don't match their energy, you're going to lose them. They're not going to be interested in you. Remember, like attracts like. That's all energy. You have to meet people at the same energy level they're at. Does that make sense? So that means that if you're reserved, you better up your game and meet that person's frequency. You better meet that person's energy and respond in kind. When they say, hey, how you doing? And you got to say, hey, how are you doing? Happy to be here, right? You have to respond in that, because then they know, this person's like me. I like their energy. They're meeting me on my level. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel comfortable that I can connect with someone that relates to me. That's how rapport is built. Now on the other side, for someone like Colleen Ariano, and those of you who hang around Colleen, she is freaking energy. She's an energy, her energy can power up the city, right? She's no joke. She's got that kind of energy. Sometimes I wonder why she even drinks coffee. And those of you that hang around Colleen, you'll know she's freaking on fire all the freaking time. And that's what I love about her. That's her strength. But for someone like Colleen, if she goes on the opposite, if she goes sits down with someone that's very reserved and not really like loud and energy, well, she might blow them out of the water. So I've talked to her, it's like, hey, if you meet with someone reserved, you're going to have to calm your game down and meet them at their level so that you can connect with them. Again, because people like to do and interact with people that are like them. And they like to do business with people that are like them. Does that make sense? You can look this up, right? It's neuro-linguistic programming. Look up matching and mirroring. There are all kinds of videos on YouTube about it, articles, blogs. It absolutely works. Okay? That's something that you got to learn here. You got to be conscious of that. Now, that last line there is so, when you read it, like, yep, that makes sense. But it's so much more than that. Those of you that are struggling to recruit people in your business or get clients, and let me tell you, a big part of it is because of that last sentence on this slide here. Sometimes you want to blow people away with your knowledge about what you learn here. You want to blow people away with what you know. That's normal. I get it. You learn something, you want to share it. Okay, but that's not what people are about. You often heard that saying, and it's a very, I don't know, I wouldn't say a played out saying, but a lot of people have heard it, but it is true. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you're going and sitting with people and you're just trying to share with them all that you know and impress them with your knowledge of tax advantages and principal protection through index annuities and a complementary financial compass, right? Then I wouldn't be interested in that, and most people are not going to be interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? I'm interested in people that are interested in me. And guess what? That's human nature. You got focus on being don't focus on being interesting, focus on being interested. Be genuinely interested in people. And it's not difficult, guys. This is not difficult to do. This is real common sense, right? It's just not common knowledge. Focus on being interested. That means that get to know people. And don't get to know them because you're trying to make a sale. Get to know them for the sake of getting to know them, because that's what people like to do. They like to build relationships. And here's what I know about people. They love to talk about themselves. They love it. Don't you love it when people are interested in you and they want to know about you and your family and the way you grew up and what you're interested in and why you're interested in it and what you're passionate about and why you're passionate about it? Don't you love it when people just really take the time to say, you know what, it's not about me, it's about you right now, and I want to know, I want to get to know you more because you just seem very interesting to me, and I think it's just great to get to know people like you. Why are you so passionate about that? Why did you choose that field? Tell me about your kids. How did you meet your husband? How did you meet your wife? Right? Why do why were they the person for you? Nobody does that. And so when you come across people in that way and you're genuine and I'm saying you sincerely mean it, they really gravitate to you and they say, wow, it's so great to have somebody just for a few minutes really care about me and make me feel good and make me feel special. It feels nice. It feels so powerful, guys. It's such a powerful connection that you make with someone when you really genuinely care. Because the truth of the matter is, most people don't care. We say, how are you, as a platitude. That means that it's just, we say, how are you, as a way to interact with people on a daily basis, but we don't really mean it. It's just something that we say. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm good. It's just a way to break ice. But when's the last time you actually looked someone in the eyes and you really meant, hey, how are you doing? But you really meant it. You want to know, how are they doing? Hey, I'm good. Why are you good? You might throw people off and be like, whoa, no one's actually ever really done that to me. And they feel they feel instantly connected to you. That is charisma at the max. You guys want to be charismatic? Then be sincerely and genuinely interested in people. And you will win their hearts every single time. And if you can do that with people in this business, guys, when you're out there building relationships with people, the world is your oyster. You will recruit so many people. You will help so many families. It's ridiculous. Because if you give other people what they want, in the long term, you'll get what you want. Can I repeat that for you? If you give other people what they want, you will always, without fail, without mention, will always get what you want and then some. You will live by the abundance mentality because you believe in giving to people. And because you give to people in such a way that they've never received, they want to give you back as a favor, as just reciprocity. Are you guys picking up what I'm dropping? This wow, as I'm listening to myself say this, I'm like, wow, what a mind job. I mean, wow, it's amazing what we do for people and the way that we build relationships, but you got to be someone that can build quality relationships to people. And the reason most people don't succeed is because they're so logical and they get right to the facts. Hey, nice to meet you. Let me tell you about our company named Difference and how you can make $100,000 a year. And let me show you about these tax advantages. And let me show you about this financial compass. Right? They get right to the point. They're so logical, and they think that by focusing on the logic and the facts that they're going to be able to have clients to say, you know what, I've been waiting for you all my life. And even though you might be able to help, a few people out of 100 do that, you're never going to win long term. And that's my point, what I'm trying to tell you guys. You got to build relationships with people. You got to focus on getting to know your people. If you have a team, you should be building a personal relationship with all your teammates. You should be taking them out for coffee. You should meet their spouse. You should meet, you should go out to breakfast, get to know them, hang out with them, build a relationship, because people quit jobs and people quit business all the time. But here's what I know. People don't quit on their friends. People don't quit on your friends. It's that much harder to quit on your friend when you have a relationship built already. And those of you that are on my team, you'll know that that's one of my strengths. I love people. I love people. I live in a big city like San Diego because I want to be around people. I love the action. I love being around tons of people. I love interacting with people. I can be around people all the time because people mean everything to me. You know, my family means the world to me, but I treat everyone like they're my family because I believe we are. That's a very spiritual concept for me, but I believe we're all connected. I don't believe I'm better than anybody. I want to make people feel good. I want to make people feel special. And why am I telling you this? Because if you want to win here long term, you got to do the same. You got to do the same thing. Sound good? Hey, put in the chat box. I can't see it, but I want to know if you're getting value from this training. Because man, I'm getting value from this training. I'm fired up about this training. I'm like, man, this is really great stuff. This is super, super important. So, how does one achieve greatness? That's what we're after here, right? Every one of you want to have greatness, correct? Well, how do you do that? Let me quote Jesus, okay? You know, it's been said, and I don't know the story, but, you know, someone went to Jesus and said, you know, Jesus, how does one become great like you? How does one achieve greatness? And Jesus simply said, find a way to serve the many, because service to the many leads to greatness. That is so profound, that kind of wisdom right there. Notice that he said, find a way to serve yourself. He didn't say, find a way to just serve your family. Those are all givens, okay? But if you want to achieve greatness, he says, find a way to serve the many, because service to the many leads to greatness. John F. Kennedy, one of the best presidents in our country, right? He was a leader, regardless of his background, right? There were some issues there, but he was a leader. And he had some great leadership principles, and what he put this country on track on that speech that he delivered. Say, hey, don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That's powerful. That unites, those words there united a nation. Because so many people are just gimme, gimme, gimme. And if you're just a person that lives off of what's in it for me, gimme, 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 then the universe responds in kind. When you're just gimme, 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 all the universe is going to say to you is gimme, gimme, gimme. What you put out comes back. But if you're like, you know what, how can I serve? How can I give to people? And it's not just about giving money. Give people your undivided attention. Give people your service, your diligence, volunteer. Give people your time. Give people your energy. And when you give to people, guess what? They give back. Isn't that powerful? And guys, this stuff is common sense, but we always say it's not common knowledge. It's not. That's why there's not too many leaders out there. But fortunately for you, you're in Difference Financial, where this is all you're going to learn. The big picture of Difference Financial is not to just go out there and create a bunch of six-figure earners. The biggest picture for me of Difference Financial is to go out there and develop leaders to be successful not only in their families, in their communities, in society, and the result of this, the more leaders that we create, the more positive impact we can create and influence on a higher level. Think about that. If you had an army of people that shared this same psychology that I'm sharing with you right now, this philosophy, what do you think you can do with an army of people that believe what we just talked about in this training? What kind of changes can you have the power to make on a national or global level? Boom, I'm talking like massive change, positive change. And the money just seems to follow. The money follows you because of this. Power moves to those that are truly committed to serve. You are all powerful, but if you want to really be a powerful person, it's nothing about ego. A powerful person The most powerful person, ironically, wants power over no other person. That's why they're so powerful. The most powerful people, all they want, their whole passion and ambition is to empower others. A true powerful person doesn't want any power over anybody else. They simply want to share that power and empower others. That's our philosophy here. That's what we're about here. That's our mission. That is our purpose in life. That is why I often say difference is not something I do, it's who I am. And it's not about the IULs and index annuities and the money. That's just the logical stuff. That's what keeps our doors open. That's how we generate income. But for me, I'm always focused on the higher law. I'm always focused on the main. I always keep the main thing the main thing. And that's the most thing. That's the most important thing. The most important thing is to always keep the main thing the main thing. And my priority was always to empower people. That they too can do it. That they too can achieve greatness. That they too can go out there and make a positive impact in their families, in their inner circles, in their communities, and in the world. That's what I love about our company. And I hope that you do too. So why is it so vital to develop? You see that everything that I just shared with you guys is, I've learned all that through reading books and actually applying what I've learned in my life and in my business. And honestly, that's why I'm standing before you right now. That's why I wanted to build a team. And it's helped my identity. It's helped my confidence. All these things that I've shared with you have helped me in my own family. It's helped me in my own relationships. Everything I share with you is, I'm a better son because of what I share with you. I'm a better brother. I'm a better friend. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a way better father and a better husband because of all these principles that I have learned as a result of this business. Isn't that what we're all about? Just trying to be better people, trying to do something positive with our life, to try to do something great. I love these trainings, because they touch me at such a deep level. And I hope it did. I hope it did for you as well. Now, I think I got some more slides here. I think that's the last one here. So, I want to share with you some books here. Why is it so vital to develop? This book, I got a lot of the training here from reading this book front to back, Developing the Leader Within You. Amazing book, and I recommend you get everything by John Maxwell, right? Because this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm telling you. Another great book, Winning with People by John Maxwell. Awesome book, man. I mean, just talk about, if you really want to learn how to build quality, interpersonal, connecting relationships with people, man, this is so good. It's such a great book. Winning with People. Discover the people principles that work for you every time. It's all about people, guys. People. These are people's lives we're talking about here. That's why we make the big bucks. Because we cause some massive shift in people's lives. Some other books I recommend. This right now, the book on the left, Beyond Positive Thinking, is, in my personal, in the 10 years I've been here, I've probably read a few hundred books. This one here is definitely my top 3, Beyond Positive Thinking. It's my absolute favorite book. I love the psychology of the way the mind works and how to get yourself to really be habitually thinking in such a way that reflects your outer life. I'm talking about you're just always focused. You're always fired up. You got to build that muscle. It's a mental muscle. And I learned that from this book, Beyond Positive Thinking. It's such a profound book, and I want you guys to read that book. I highly regard it. And then the right one is The Power of Now. It's more of a spiritual book, but I recommend it. The Power of Now is, some of you have read it. I know some of you, I know on my team have read it. It's a really great book because it really focuses you to live in the moment, to really realize what's important. You always got to feed your mind as a leader. Leaders are readers. right? Leaders are readers, and you got to feed your mind on the daily. If all you wait is to come on Tuesday night to get a little bit for a couple hours, or you wait till Saturday morning webinar to just get some positive stuff, then you've already lost. That's not enough nutrition. You're malnutritioned right now. You have to go on a personal development diet. And how much of it should I eat? As much as you possibly can every day. A minimum of 30 minutes to an hour per day, but minimum 30 minutes. There's audiobooks. You can go to YouTube. You got Kindle. You can read a phone on your app. You can read a book on your phone in the App Store. You can get a Kindle app or iBooks or whatever. You can read it while you're on the John. I mean, just be committed to it. Start building the habit of being a muscle. If you want to be someone that offers value to people, then you got to be someone that has something of value to offer. What can you offer someone right now if you're not learning and growing? So all you got to do is, you know, people say, what should I teach people? Teach people what you're learning. Teach people what you know. Now, this is going to go straight to a YouTube video, and you can watch it over and over again. Do you think that maybe 2 years from now, when you're doing a training for your team in your office, wherever you open your office at, and you provide this training, but you speak from your own personal experience, do you think it would still provide value to your organization, your team? You better believe it. You better freaking believe it will. Right? You can do this right now. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And I share it with you so that not only you learn it, but that you can go and share with others and your team, your family, your friends. When you have cups of coffee with your friends and you're catching up, these kind of topics will come up, and now you can coach your friends and help them in their life. The people that you love, the people you care about, with some of these principles that I share with you today. This is life-changing stuff. This is what it's all about. So, I got 10:15. I'm pretty much wrapping up here. I don't think our CEO is going to come on, so let me go back into presentation mode here. And you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to see if you guys were coachable. I got some questions here. Let's see. I love it. I love it. I love it. These are great comments, guys. Look at Stephen Oreño over here posting books, The Art of Learning. I haven't read that book yet. Stephen, I'm going to get it. All right. Michael Gonzalez, I'm loving it, brother. Don't focus on sales. Don't focus on being interested. I would classify this as being genuine with people and truly want to help them once you get to know them. That's why this guy's getting results, right? How funny that our leadership is what's posting the most here. That doesn't surprise me. Okay. So, anyhow, and just wrapping up with you guys here, guys. Did you guys get value from today's training? Wasn't that good? Wasn't that powerful? This is what it's all about. And if this is your first webinar to our company, welcome to the team. We welcome you. This is what we're all about here. We want you to know that you're going to feel right at home here. We're going to accept you at whatever level you're at in life. But when we bring you in, we're going to take you to that next level. All that we ask you is two things, right? Number one, you got to show up. You got to show up. Every Tuesday at our local office here in San Diego, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., we have training. Okay? Don't ever ask, hey, is there training this week? It's always going. Don't ever ask if there's a Saturday webinar from 9 a.m. to 10:30. It's always going to go. Okay? Now, because we've been so busy, I got home late last night. I didn't get around to like midnight. I was like, you know what? I do have to do something. It's called sleep, or else I'm not going to be of any good to you. So I want you guys to always understand that. You're always going to get a Saturday webinar from 9 a.m. to 10:30. There's always going to be training from Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at our local office. You know, if you're in the LA office, I know that you guys are doing it there as well. So all good, okay? But this is the things we're going to talk about. You know, we're going to be going over system and products, guys. That's all part of it. But 90% of the time, we're going to be focused on this kind of content because this is the most important stuff. All right, so I hope you guys got a ton of value. We're going to finish a little bit early, 10:15. It's a beautiful Saturday. It is hot. I hope you guys got air conditioning because I don't got air conditioning in my house down here in Chula Vista, and it's already burning up and I'm in my garage. But enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your time. I hope this made you feel good. Okay, if you need to get the trainings done, make sure you get the trainings knocked out. If you need to get licensed, make sure you get your license knocked out. Just get stuff done so that we can move forward and start building a business together, and let's go help people change their life. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Take it easy. Peace.